know each other now, so this week on Four Spice we're finally answering that deadly serious question: can Meg actually make a video without a latte? No, I'm kidding. We're actually answering the question: is fandom inherently creepy, particularly when it's of like real live people? I added in that caveat because I think it's kind of difficult to be creepy if you're being a fan of a thing like the Harry Potter series or the Hunger Games books. You can do creepy things with it, you can write really creepy fan fiction if you try, but I don't think most fandom, when it's centered around a product or a piece of media, do you want to call that a product? Is that too capitalistic? Whatever, the point is that it's when there are actual people involved that I start to get very uncomfortable with fandom, so I wanted to get everyone else's opinions on this and see if it's just me being hypersensitive to it. See, there was a trend in fandom a little while back now, I can't remember, a couple of months, where it was just like the thing where you would be rude to the people of whom you were fans. Like, not really rude, it was a complete joke, obviously it was complete irony, but you would just, like, you know, tweet them saying you're trash. I didn't get that, and I still don't get it, and I think part of it is just that I'm very bad at sarcasm if it's written down. But then it carries on. There's a trend which is, I think, just starting to die out, which is calling celebrities your mum or calling them your sons. It's normally those two, I've decided. It's never like father and daughter. I don't know what's up with that. Hayley Atwell on Twitter tweeted saying she was going to block anyone who called her mum. Someone responded saying, oh no, it's not creepy, it's not sexual, it's just saying you are a strong female figure to whom I look up. And she responded, I don't care, I find it creepy, I'm blocking you if you call me that. I'm kind of with her on this one. I think that's weird. And I think when it comes to fandom of real people, it is inherently creepy if there is communication between the fan and the other person, the celebrity slash creator slash whatever they are. You know how in Doctor Who, Penelope Wilton played Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, and later Harriet Jones, Prime Minister, and the catchphrase was her introducing herself and the other person going, yes, we know who you are. That immediately introduces a bit of awkwardness because there's an imbalance of information, if nothing else. I know who you are, you don't know who I am, this is weird already, Sometimes that sort of thing goes away. I've made friends with people who, like, I watched their videos on the internet but they hadn't watched mine previously, and we've since become friends, but for the first few times you meet, that is really awkward. It's like, I know how you take your tea and you don't even know my name. This is weird, I don't like it. From that point of view, we already know that there's a power imbalance between the creator, we're using creator as a standard term here, and the fan, in that, you know, influence and the amount of support you're going to have and the amount of visibility you have. But there's also an imbalance of information between fan and creator. The fan knows so much more about the creator. In person, that's not necessarily going to make much of a difference, but when it's communication online, when it's a distance communication, that can feel quite threatening. I think we've all had this just as people who exist on the internet. Anons on Tumblr can be very creepy because they know stuff about me and I don't know who you are, and it's scary sometimes. I've had people on Tumblr call me out for being rude to Anons after they've asked for pictures of me, and well, I feel threatened by that sometimes. Particularly there was these two Anons in a row who both asked for pictures which in some way would imply me, like, showing particular parts of my body. And possibly just a coincidence, could have been two different people, could have been perfectly innocent, but the coincidence, it made me feel creepy, so I was rude and I shouldn't have been, but it made me feel threatened. And the final point of discussion that I want to bring up is that David Wong quote: there are two ways to dehumanize someone. The first is by dismissing them, the second is by idolizing them. I think this is something I've done in the past. I think I've reduced them to ideas. I think I've elevated them to such an extent that I've sort of forgotten they're human beings, or I've, you know, remembered that but then treated them as an intellectual curiosity. But of course the question that we're actually asking this week is that creepiness inherent in fandom for real people? I don't think it's avoidable. I think that as soon as you start becoming a fan of a person rather than the things that they create, that you immediately dehumanize them in some way. I will be very interested to hear if people on the channel disagree with me, and if you disagree with any of the other points I've made in this video, because we like debate and discussion and things, and my cat is sitting on my toes, so I'm going to end it there. I hope everyone has a good week. See you soon. Alright Jess, I need to turn this camera off.